Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a very interesting team here. We have a no XL team for Open Ultra League. We're going to use Giratina here in Shiny as well, which looks way better than the normal one. It's honestly one of the coolest Shinies. And we have the Mundle Saysop here and the SCAF in the back. Basically, the idea of this team was, okay, you kind of don't want to face Talonflame with the SCAF, so let's have something in the lead that can really handle that, and let's have something as a Saysop which baits out Talonflame but still wins against it, which is Mundle. Mundle is just so cool because it has the ability to go for Rock Slide. It always wins against Talonflame. I think Talonflame can only take one in their zero shields, but you can then farm them down. So there's not a big of a problem there. And here we're actually in a really bad spot as I kind of screw up with my SCAF. If I shield the move against the Registeel, I would have been fine here, but of course I couldn't know what he had in the back, and this is kind of difficult right now for me. As he goes for a Grass Knot, and I tried to catch the move, which worked out perfectly fine, which is cool. I don't know if, most likely Grass Knot would have killed me, but I can go for another superpower here and KO this Registeel there, and we're really fine. Mundle is in general way too underrated in the Open Ultra League. The problem with this thing is always that there's like something like Swampert around. And Swampert is of course really good against it, but even against Swampert you get 2 superpowers off usually, and that puts him already in like, I don't know, 60% range, but there's like no possible way to win against the Swampert in the matchup. Here we have the perfect lead, and my opponent goes to the Mundle. Maybe I should have swapped out earlier into the SCAF. I'm just gonna try to go for a move here and put him into, I mean, I don't really put him into range, maybe into counter range. Oh, yeah, into counter range, I guess. Now I just hope that he throws a move, which he does know. I have to keep the energy for the Machamp, and oh yeah, I'm just gonna counter him down now. I'm gonna shoot the first move because he goes for a superpower, and now this even KOs him. And I can go for a Durarun, which I think he should shield. He doesn't, okay. That's actually less than I expected it to be. Now I'm just gonna shield here, which I don't know if that was the right play, but I expect my opponent to have a Steel type in the back, because usually you run Machamp with a Steel type in the back, because Steel types cover Fairy types and Flying types, both as the and Psychic types as well. So all the stuff that Machamp doesn't really want to face. So seeing a Registeel in the back isn't something where I was like a bit surprised of. It's like something that I expected. That's why I basically didn't shield there. He goes for a Focus Blast, which doesn't KO us. Actually? Did he undercharge there? Most likely, I don't know. That was weird. We were debuffed even and didn't KO us. Interesting. But we can go for a Shadow Sneak and win this game easily. So, good game there. And next up, we have Umbreon against us. Really bad lead. We have to swap out, of course, into Mundle. And Mundle has at least Superpower, which pressures. And I always like to go for at least like one Rock Slide in the beginning, but this also unlines our switch clocks, which is even better now. So we basically have no fear anymore that we have this Umbreon against our Giratina in the end. So we are fine there. He goes for another move. And I can go for another superpower, and we basically put him really low. I think I make a mistake here soon. Oh yeah, I thought this would be arranged already for farmland for Giratina, but it wasn't. But I still went for it. And yeah, by basically one quick move it wasn't. But it's fine. My opponent goes into Charizard, and at this point I think, okay, I'm screwed. I already know what he has in the back, so I'm just gonna swap out, and yeah, I knew it was the Talonflame in the back. You already saw my double fire team as well, which had Obstagoon in the lead, and I expected it. Usually if you see a Charizard in this league, they have a Talonflame in the back, because there's literally no other reason for why you would ever run the Charizard if you can run Talonflame. Unless of course you don't have a Talonflame. But yeah, that's basically when you go into Master League and you see a Gardevoir, you always know he has a Togekiss in the back, or like a Sylveon. Because Togekiss is like the preferred Fairy type because of the Ground type matchup against, for example, Groudon. And you usually would never use a different Fairy type than this, unless you use 2 Fairy types. Same here, and here my opponent has a Venus on the back, and this is a very nice for us actually, because SCAF has a good day against those two. I can go for a Mega Horn, my opponent shields, and I think I get to the next Mega Horn before I actually let this go. I don't know if that was the right play. I guess it was, because, yeah, even if he can counter me down here, I don't think he can even. Yeah, I can get to the drill run. Even if he could have countered me down there, I still had 2 shields to the Giratina, and I had moose stored there as well, so we were fine. Next up, we have 9 hits against us, one of the worst possible leads, of course, and my opponent goes into Machamp, and I don't think we can win this game. Already, this doesn't look too good. My opponent throws, of course, in the right timing. This definitely doesn't look good for us, so we can farm down with Giratina, but still, this is not the best matchup for us. But a Rock Slide doesn't even KO, like, wouldn't even like half KO us. We're just gonna throw one move here, because otherwise he's not in dry run range. And now he's definitely in dry run range. And I'm just gonna shield it because I know that he has a lot of energy, but he went for the bait. I can go for a dry run here. I can go for another dry run here, which is even crazier, because that was we threw at 14 turns, he needs 15 turns, and we went CMP against him. And at this point, my only real play is farm all the way down. And I actually can do that. I can go for the dry run. And I'm gonna be able to win this game, most likely. As I'm gonna try to throw the Shadow Sneaky and be a bit cheeky, but my opponent throws the Weather Ball, doesn't KO us, we're gonna CMP die there. If we throw the what's it called, Dazzling Demon, would have KO'd us, but we still had our SK, which would have most likely been able to get to a draw run in time. Against Galvantula, this is like the perfect thing that you want to face. Galvantula is like in the lead really, really good for you. But I make a bit of a mistake and stay in there. Tinker's just swapped immediately and went for the Mega Horn here. My opponent actually has the Future Sight, which makes this matchup a bit tricky, as Future Sight allows my opponent to have a way better matchup against me. And he shields here as well, because he knows that now. But I can go for another Mega Horn. I don't really have to care that much. Yeah, this is fine. My opponent is now locked back in against the Galvantula, while I have lost already a shield. But this thing is very tricky. Greedent is very tricky, especially if they get the debuff. But they throw immediately, which is good for us. Crunch us, and he gets the debuff. So at this point, yeah, it's tricky. Greedent for the lead especially is tricky. Like, Giratina cannot do anything against the Greedent, like nothing. So we're gonna have to shield here now. And we can go for a superpower. And it's not gonna do as much, and we have to shield here as well, I think. Okay, my opponent goes into the Galvantula and basically gives us the win there, which is nice. Because, yeah, Galvantula cannot do anything against Giratina. Every move is resisted, even like the coverage move has like also Energy Ball, which would be resisted, and Poison, exactly, Cross Poison would also be resisted. So, yeah, there's nothing really that this thing can do against me. I'm just gonna throw my moves, and we should be in a good spot. I have the superpower stored. I would win CMP anyway, and this is a good game there. Close one. Against Dijon the Jin, we have a decent lead here, and he goes into Suicune, and I actually make a mistake here. I played that stupidly. What I should have done here is just go straight into the SCAF. Because, yeah, he has Ice Beam. The worst thing that they have for SCAF would be the Hydro Pump, and we have to take one anyway. And, yeah, SCAF doesn't really want to face the, what's it called? Talonflame anyway, so it would just get farmed down there. And my opponent goes actually into the Jellicent, which I also don't really want to face with an SCAF. We can at least go for one drill run, but this does not look too good. We're just gonna go into the Melmetal now. Try to farm up a bit extra. And he goes to a Shadow Ball, good play to not bait there, if he even has a bait moves. And I can go for the Rock Slide, doesn't KO. I have to shield here now. And he goes to a Shadow Ball. And I have to farm up extra now. But okay, I can go for my Rock Slide here as well, which is fine. I have to shield again. Shield, I think, on, yeah, it was another Shadow Ball. Goes back into the Talonflame. I can go for 2 Rock Slides here at least. And, oh, actually I had to swap out before that. Okay. Yeah, I think he would have KO'd me before. I had to basically swap priority that the the Incinerate wouldn't KO me, but I can go for another Rock Slide here. And are we able to Thunder Shock him down before? But we are not. We need like 2 more Thunder Shocks to win this game. Those one, I think I could have played it better in the beginning. I think I misplayed it a bit, but I don't think it really mattered there. So good game there to my opponent. Here my opponent goes into Obstagoon against me, and I am gonna take this. And I actually go for the Rock Slide, which was a stupid play. But my opponent has a shield anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We can go for another one. And here we have 2 shields already. We have to go into Escape anyway. Wait, never mind. I actually did this on purpose because I just wanted to get rid of his energy. I know that I have to basically win with S Cavalier here with my 2 shields I have. He goes into 9 hits, which is good. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to get rid of his energy. And now that I'm going to lose this match as well, I think I remember this match. It's going to be a close one. As we can get to this move, we can try to farm down. And I think he has something very weak to Escape in the back, if I remember correctly. And I'm going to let this go. No, are we actually going to lose this? Wait. Yeah, it's Drapion. Yeah, I was like, yeah, cool. Now we have 2 shields, but what do we want to do with those 2 shields? There's nothing really we can do here. He goes for a crunch. I have to let the first one go anyway. I know that he gets through 3 crunches no matter what I want to do. So letting the first one go ensures that he doesn't get the debuff on the second one. If he ever gets the debuff with the crunch, 30% chance to debuff your defense. You always want to let the first one go if you have to let one go anyway. And this is going to come down to the wire. Can we actually get to the charge movie in time? We're going to be able to do that. No, it's actually a crazy game. Like, I don't know how we won this, but we won this. And I take this. But yeah, a very, very crazy game. Next up, we're going to have Obstacle against us. We don't have good leads and like in general don't good matchups, but look what we got out of here. A Talonflame, and I'm going to take that all day long. That's basically what we want to do with this team. Just get out the Talonflame and we can go for Rock Slide. And get his next shield, and he gets the next move before me, but just fine. But I can shield here now. I can go for one quick move and go for the Rock Slide, which doesn't allow that the Incinerate go through, so I have some more health there, and my opponent goes into a Lowland Muck. And this is bad. This is just straight up bad, because it just would decay almost like the Escape, but he swaps out. Not like, I don't know, he expected most likely, I don't know what he even expected, I don't know why he swapped out there immediately, which gives us the chance here to have a draw run stored and go into our Giratina to KO this thing. The draw run we really need for the AMAC, like if you don't have the draw run stored there, we definitely will not be able to win this match. My opponent's still gonna hang on here, but we can go for a Dragon Claw before he can swap out again, which puts us in a pretty decent spot. He has only half of his life left. We can go for the Dragon. We're gonna be able to KO him there. If he didn't swap out there, he most likely would have won. My actual goal there was to catch Dark Pulse, and I just wanted to go for 1 count and then swap out. But I take it like this. Here we get just completely hard countered. Really cool. Like hardest counter in the lead, hardest counter in the switch in here. Really nice. But you see, like we can still gonna do some. Yeah, we still put him nearly to red health with that. But the problem is here he can go for. He actually goes to an Earthquake. But we have to go into the Giratina here now, and he definitely can get to an Earthquake as well. And I make a mistake there by throwing my charge move. I should never throw my charge move in this situation, because I'm not gonna win CMP anyway, and yeah, now I get less energy basically. I have to swap out immediately, and against Politoed. Politoed is sadly too spammy for Escavalier. Escape is most likely the best non-legendary, non-XL Pokemon that you can have, but Politoed is just too bulky and it spams like the weather balls way too fast. So yeah, that's gonna be a loss here again, sadly, as we will not be able to basically get out this matchup with the what's it called, the Dragon stored, and yeah, it's gonna be a good game. He's gonna swap out, and I'm just gonna surrender there. He still has a shield left. There was nothing I can do there. Next up, we have Gyarados in the lead, which was bad for us, but my opponent swaps immediately into Togekiss while I swap, because I didn't want to face the Gyarados into my Melmetal there. So I take that, and he's just gonna let this thing go, and we have a really good matchup. And the interesting thing is, my opponent goes back into the Gyarados. I can go for a Rock Slide here. I don't know what he's doing. He has a Waterfall, that's why he swapped out at least. Waterfall is good in Premier Cup. I don't think it's good in this cup, just because of more dragons here. And my opponent has another Steel type in the back. And this can be still a bit tricky, I think. Gyarados double Steel. Okay, yeah, double Fairy, I mean. We have double Steel, but our Steel types are not the best against Fairy types, to be honest. Even though we have like two Steel types that resist Charm, we don't have like any good move to hit them. We don't have stab moves in general on our Pokemon here. Other than Megahorn. Megahorn is resisted, so... He got the debuff as well, which is bad, but my opponent makes a crucial mistake here in swapping into the Gyarados. Because now we just have some more energy and can go for the Shadow Sneak there, so there's nothing really you can do there, and he's just gonna surrender. I mean, yeah, I guess he had to swap out, but didn't really help him anyway. Against Cresselia, you kind of want to swap out after 7, and my opponent didn't throw sadly again, but my opponent goes into Umbreon, which I take. The whole team is good against Cresselia. The lead is like the worst thing for Cresselia, like the worst thing against Cresselia still, because Cresselia is Moonblast, but you can still handle it kinda well. Well, our backline is really good against Cresselia anyway. And here my opponent throws, and I can throw some superpowers against him now. He gets actually a quick move in, which is annoying. And I can get a shield here at least. And I'm gonna snipe him here with the Dragon Claw, because I want to know if he wants the shield. And now we had 2 shields up, and we can go for another Dragon Claw here to KO this thing, I think. Yeah. And yeah, I take this right now. Like, against the Cresselia, we're not too bad either. I actually got a shield here. Main reason is if he has like some fighting type or something in the back, something that I really need the Giratina for. I actually didn't really have to shield there. I'm gonna shield again the Moonblast. I'm gonna overfarm me, get the attack debuff, and now I'm gonna swap out. Just trying to catch the move here. And he goes to the Moonblast. I'm gonna wait out the clock, of course, because we want to swap out soon. We can go into the Aircraft, and now it depends on what he has in the back. It's gonna be Venusaur, we're gonna win the scan, there's nothing my opponent can do here. Thanks for watching, I hope you like this team. If you have like Pokemon, I can definitely recommend you to try it out. No XL needed, so also something for people below level 40. And yeah, it's always a bit tricky in Ultra League, but next league won't be better with Master League. I mean, you don't need level 50 or the Legend J, so it's gonna be interesting. But see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.